After several years of hard work, you finally collected all research data and wrote a manuscript. It's time to publish the results. Since the ultimate goal of science is to disseminate new findings to the public, you would expect that publishing does not come with any major hurdles. An entire editorial board of 2 journals, consisting of together more than 40 people, resigning from their duties all at once because of too high publication costs. Well, apparently publishing in science does come with some major obstacles. In this video, we will quickly summarize how publishing scientific data works and what has led to this mass exodus of editors at the journal called NeuroImage. Now, the focus will be on the field of neuroscience, but the discussed problems also hold for other fields. One question you could ask is, if researchers do all the work, why does publishing cost money at all? Well, publishers offer a platform to show the articles. Now, such a platform requires a functioning website. Also, there should be text editors that finalize the layouts of the publications. And of course, there are other things, like outreach on social media. So, that publishing isn't fully for free makes sense. But who actually pays? The costs can be covered in 2 ways. First, there are subscription-based articles, where publishing is largely free for the researcher. However, the article stays behind a paywall, and the reader has to pay. Many universities are subscribed to various journals, meaning that within the academic field, people have access to a lot of articles. However, outside of academia, the research articles are not free, and that is obviously a problem and goes against the spirit of what science should be. Therefore, in the last decade, subscription-based publishing has become much less popular, and journals offer open access publication. In this case, the researcher, or if you're lucky, the institute that you work at, pays for the costs, and as such it becomes more and more common to ask for publication money when applying for research funding. So the great news about open access is that everybody who has an internet connection can read these articles. However, the rise of open access options has led to competition between journals about who can ask for the most money. Because publishing is absolutely crucial for a researcher's career, for-profit publishers have had the luxury to gradually increase prices over the last 10 years. And it is not uncommon to pay more than $3,000 for a single research publication. Now, this amount of money is already quite a lot for a lot of research labs in Europe and in the US. But these prices are absolutely outrageous for scientists in developing countries. Basically, it means that they are blocked from publishing in open access journals, hampering their careers in a massive way. Now, within the academic field, there is a discussion whether scientific publishing should be allowed to be for-profit in the first place. But even if we grant for-profit publishers for a second, another important question is where the money goes. For that, it is important to know that publishing requires handling editors and peer reviewers. Handling editors are the people who read submissions, decide whether an article would be a good fit, they search for peer reviewers, and they make decisions based on reviews whether an article needs to be rejected, revised, or accepted for publication. And peer reviewers are the people who are invited by the editors to read the manuscript of their colleagues and assess the quality of the paper, as well as provide feedback for improvements. Importantly, handling editors, as well as peer reviewers, are typically regular scientists. So these are people who have regular jobs as a professor or a postdoc or something else, and all the work as editor or reviewer is done outside of their regular duties. So, in the case of for-profit publishers, how much of the profit actually goes to the editors and the peer reviewers? Well, the answer is mostly nothing. While the senior editor of a journal might receive a small compensation, other editors might get nothing, and peer review is typically always for free. So the vast majority of profit from publishing research articles goes to the publisher. And if the profit would be marginal, you would say, okay, that's somewhat understandable. But if the publishers raise prices and have an ever-growing profit, at one point the academic community has to say enough is enough. And this is exactly what happened when all editors of the journals NeuroImage and NeuroImage Reports decided to quit. Already last year, in 2022, the editors asked the publisher Elsevier to consider reducing the price of publications for the journal NeuroImage to make publishing more equitable. The request was ignored, and as a consequence, all editors resigned. This move has received overwhelming support from the academic community. Publishing house Elsevier, on the other hand, was less impressed and argued that the publishing costs for NeuroImage were below the market average. Now, it should also be said that Elsevier has in total more than 2,800 journals, and the exodus of editors in one journal might not seem like a big deal. But it is obvious that the academic community, at least in the field of neuroscience, is not happy with the current system. Oh, and for the former editors of NeuroImage, they have started a new journal called Imaging Neuroscience at another non-profit publisher, MIT Press. Anyway, that's it. We hope you enjoyed this somewhat different video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like. And as always, we hope to see you the next time.